The Bills travel to Pittsburgh to face the Steelers tonight on ABC's Monday Night Football.
Let me tell you something. You want emotion? Watch this football team play football for 60 minutes.
Hey.
We'll show you emotion.
Sit down. Showtime, baby.
You ain't got to be scared, but you got to be cautious. Roll out! You want to score a touchdown? Yeah. Well, then go.
All that war, baby.
Big Ed, let's go! Rush the quarterback.
He throws to the end zone. Reed, touchdown! Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry. You better hurry.
That's a big play, big man. That's a big play.
Yeah, baby, Monday Night Football is where you got to be.
The Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, on a beautiful November night, a beautiful night for football, a good look at the Golden Triangle. Three Rivers Stadium, tremendous ticket demand for this one, sold out. It will be rocking tonight. Monday Night Football, the Buffalo Bills are back in town to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hello again, everyone. Frank Gifford with Al Michaels and Dan Deerdorf. Welcome to Three Rivers Stadium, where tonight the Bills and the Steelers will kick off the second half of their season. The Steelers coming in tonight are 5-3. They need a win to take over sole possession of the AFC Central Division. One game up on Cleveland and Houston. Of course, they were 11-5 a year ago. They won the Central Division. They had home field advantage back in the playoffs. Buffalo came to town and knocked them out in the very first game, 24-3. Buffalo is back in town. Best record in the National Football League, but they need a win to stay one game up on the Miami Dolphins, and now, I guess, to take that inevitable step towards yet another Super Bowl, a fourth consecutive one.
You know, it's a shame, Frank, in a way that so much of their image is tied to the Super Bowl losses, because it masks the remarkable consistency of this organization. Since opening day of '88, they're 65-23, and only the 49ers have a better record. It's an organization led by a couple of golden oldies. 75-year-old Ralph Wilson owns the team, and 65-year-old Marv Levy at the very top of his game as the head coach. As usual, offensively, it's Kelly and Thomas and Reed, and defensively, once again, they're led by Bruce Smith and Cornelius Bennett, and defensively, they've done a tremendous job. They have yielded the fewest points of any team in the National Football League, which is one major reason they come in with a 5-game winning streak. And they come in, Dan, to face a team that is about as hot as the Bills and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Boy, they really are. And you know what? I'm proud to work with a couple golden oldies, too.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah, this is a Pittsburgh team that couldn't have started the season any worse. 0-2 with that second loss, unbelievably, a 27-0 whitewash by the Los Angeles Rams. But since then, they've won 5 of their last 6, and I've really shifted gears and taken it up a level. Now, when you set a goal, you got to look at the obstacles in your way. And if you play in the AFC, everybody's obstacle are the Buffalo Bills. And when you take a look at the Steelers, they are 0-5 in their last 5 games with the Bills. And until they learn to beat Buffalo, they're just another team in the AFC. A good one, but they've got to beat Buffalo to get to the Super Bowl.
And here we go at Three Rivers Stadium. It's a very nice evening. Temperature in downtown Pittsburgh today got into the 60s. Right now it's in the low 50s. Three Rivers is sold out. And here we go, one of the best matchups of the season on Monday Night Football, Buffalo and Pittsburgh. They met in the playoffs last year. Jim Kelly was hurt. Frank Reich guided the Bills, who were coming off that spectacular comeback win over Houston the week before, to a 24-3 victory. Gary Anderson to put it in the air as the Bills receive, and he sends it into the end zone, where it's down by Russell Copeland. Jim Kelly was born in Pittsburgh and grew up in East Brady, about an hour's drive. Has never played in this stadium outside of one appearance when he was in the USFL with the Houston Gamblers. He has Thomas and Gardner in the backfield. Beebe's had some tremendous days against Pittsburgh. Reed on the other side. Metzelars caught 10 balls last week. Fina, Richer, Hull, Davis, and Ballard. Jim Richer, the left guard, was a college teammate of Pittsburgh coach Bill Cowher. They both played at North Carolina State. Richard, 35 years old, Cowher, 36. Kelly to the air on first down, and he hits Thurman Thomas, and they begin the game with a first down as Thomas picks up 12. Defensively against this no huddle, the Steelers are minus their nose tackle, Joel Steed. He's hurt, so they move Gerald Williams to the middle, flanked by Davidson and Evans. The linebacking has been great. Green, the ex-Ram. Kirkland, Brown is a rookie, and on the other side, Lloyd. And you took a look at the secondary, and that's an excellent one as a 5-yard gain is made here by Thurman Thomas. He is stopped by Gerald Williams. Again, in that secondary for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Rod Woodson, one of the best in the league with D.J. Johnson. On the outside, Perry and Lake are the safeties. 2nd and 5 at the 37-yard line. They put Reed in the slot to the right. And they give it to Thomas, and Thurman, workhorse as always, up to the 42-yard line and very close to a first down.
And very close, I would think, to 1,000 yards from scrimmage at the halfway mark here in the NFL season for Thurman Thomas. Came in with some 989 yards, and we've seen him at all 3 offensive plays. They love to work him, and he loves to work. And having just an outstanding year.
What's new?
Yeah, I mean, if anything, this is better, though.
Yeah, you're right, Frank. It is. It might be better, but over the last 5 years, how could you turn in more consistent performances than Thurman Thomas? Out of the backfield, catching the ball, running the ball. Granted, he's got a fine supporting cast, but Thurman Thomas, the last 5 years, has been nothing short of remarkable here in the NFL.
You know what I think is remarkable as he approaches 10,000 yards. Going back to the 1990 season, he has not had a run from scrimmage over 45 yards. He just plugs it. He beats up on you. He catches the ball. He dinks you. He dunks you. He's amazing.
That last graphic, when you break it down, that's 27 carries a game over the last 5 games. In addition, he catches the ball a lot. From the 42-yard line, here he goes again. So he's been involved in their first 4 plays, and he picks up about 2. He is stopped by Williams and Brown. The other great thing about Thurman Thomas, last week against New England, he gets hurt early on. He suffers bruised ribs. He has trouble breathing for the rest of the game and winds up carrying it 30 times.
That's not carrying it 30 times against a Division II team or something like that. 30 carries in the NFL is extraordinary.
2nd and 9, and Kelly's going to air it out too deep. Intended for Beebe, well covered by D.J. Johnson.
Johnson all the way with Beebe, and Al alluded to the fact that Beebe has been spectacular against the Bills. He had 8 receptions in the regular season game a year ago, and he had 7 in the playoff game, 4 touchdowns back in '91. But watch D.D. Williams. You'd probably hear more about him if it wasn't for Rod Woodson, the left cornerback of the Steelers. Woods Johnson, a real fine DB that stayed right with Beebe.
3rd and 9. At the 43 on the game's opening drive. Kelly buys time and then throws incomplete. Good coverage by the Steelers secondary. He tried to throw it to Thomas underneath. And it's 4th down.
Against Jim Kelly, sending only 3 linemen into the pass rush lanes is a real gamble because of his ability to find an open receiver, and plus the quality of his receivers and their ability to stay open. I think it's a real statement by the Steelers, the confidence they have in their secondary to stay on receivers for a long time.
Rod Woodson to run the kickback. Chris Moore to send it his way. And a fair catch is called for. It's a 39-yard kick. Woodson making the catch at the 18-yard line. And that's where the Steelers will take possession for the first time tonight. On a beautiful mid-November night, the Buffalo Bills forced the punt, and Neil O'Donnell out of Maryland, bothered with tendonitis of the elbow, and his status was questionable at the beginning of the season, but he's had a fine year. Barry Foster, once again, a terrific season. Hodge does a lot of blocking. Graham and Stone are the wideouts, and Eric Green, the huge tight end, more and more a part of the offense. Jackson will have his hands full with Smith, Love, Dawson, Strozik, and Searcy, the interior 5. First down Pittsburgh from the 18-yard line, and off play action. O'Donnell throws incomplete, intended for Dwight Stone. On the sideline, James Williams covering. Let's take a look at the Buffalo defense. They've given up a lot of yards, but as we mentioned earlier, fewest points in the league. Barnett, Wright, and Smith. Hansen is back. He'll share time with Barnett. Bennett and Talley on the outside. Patton and Maddox have done a real good job inside this year. Williams and Odoms are the corners. Odoms has 6 interceptions. Jones went to the Pro Bowl last year. He had 8 interceptions last season. And Mark Kelso. There's Bruce Smith. They'll move him up and down the line all night. And on a delay, Foster takes it out to the 24. Barry gets 6. Mark Maddox makes the hit. It'll be 3rd and 4.
Frank, I think that's the play you and I were both looking for on first down. Pittsburgh has not made it much of a secret. Bill Cowher telling us yesterday, we are going to run the football right at Buffalo. We think that maybe we have the advantage with our running attack against the way they play the run, and the pass on first down took me by surprise, but not Buffalo.
Both of us, I look at you, you look at me, what is this? But why not? Buffalo is 21st in the league against the rush, and the Steelers come out as one of the best rushing teams in the game.
3rd and 4. Leroy Thompson in the game. He's their 3rd down back. And it's Whitestone making the catch. First down. Takes it out to the 34-yard line. Tackled by Darby.
Whitestone represents the speed for the Steelers. And Neal needs it just a little out in front of him. Stone makes a fine catch. Reaches up for it. Pulls it down. Making sure he's got it because he does know he's got the first down.
Darby has to run around one of his teammates on the crossing pattern, and just that hesitation and alteration of his route made him about a half a step behind Stone. That's all it takes.
Double tight end set. And they give it to Foster. And he doesn't go anywhere. No gain. Stopped at the line of scrimmage with 33. Bruce Smith is right there. It'll be 2nd down 10.
You know, you touched on the fact that the Bills have given up the least points per average in the league, and that's true. And yet they are 17th overall defensively, and what they have is a remarkable number of turnovers. 29 in total. They are plus 13 in the giveaway takeaway ratio, and that's truly remarkable. That's almost double anyone else after 8 games. And that's been the big difference. Teams have just turned the football. They've moved the football, but they've turned it over to them.
Old Corey's unit, 2nd down and 10. O'Donnell throwing it out near side. Jeff Graham makes the catch, and he's out of bounds close to a first down. Nate Odoms with the coverage.
What are you going to do about that one, Dan?
Well, you saw some good work by an unheralded group. And this offensive line of Pittsburgh has provided outstanding pass protection all year, and that was the key to that play right there. Buffalo did not get anywhere near Neil O'Donnell, and he was able to have all the time in the world to find Graham on the sideline. Boy, good work with his feet on the sideline.
And Odoms in man for man. He played it well. It was a perfectly thrown ball.
If you like defensive secondary play, to be able to see Woodson and Odoms both here tonight is a real treat.
Here's Foster, and Foster explodes through the middle. Takes it to the 47-yard line. That's close to another first down. Stopped by Oliver Barnett.
Al, I think you'll be making that call a lot tonight.
We talked about the durability of Thurman Thomas. Well, how about the durability of Barry Foster? Carried the ball 390 times a year ago. He just loves to carry it.
Boy, what a block by Dermontti Dawson, the center. That was a sensational play against Jeff Wright, one of the better nose tackles in the game. This is a quality matchup tonight between Dawson and, on the other side, number 91, Jeff Wright. These two guys will be arm wrestling all night long. Dawson won that one.
Pro Bowler a year ago,
Dermontti Dawson. Perfect size for a center, too. 6'2", 290 pounds. Leverage is everything as a center, and you're at a disadvantage because you have to snap the football. To be able to get underneath the pads, to be able to snap your rear end when you make that block. It's a big help to be somewhere in that 6'2" range.
5 minutes into the game with no score. Here's Foster. And right through the middle again. This time he picks up 5. It's Smith making the stop. Foster coming into the game averaging exactly 4 yards per carry. And he is the Steelers' leading receiver. He catches about 4 balls a game. And they throw the screen to him 3 or 4 times per game.
And they're very good at the screen.
Who would think, coming into tonight's game, when you think about Barry Foster, that he actually has more receptions than Thurman Thomas? You think about Thurman Thomas being the big receiving back in the league. Foster has more than Thomas.
2nd and 5, a deep drop and good protection, and it's incomplete. Adrian Cooper, the intended receiver, looks for the flag, and the officials say that Henry Jones got there as the ball did. No flag.
And Henry Jones timed that out beautifully. Cooper doesn't think so, and Cooper is big, 6'5", 270. He goes with Eric Green, 6'5" and 280. Let's take a look again. Henry Jones trying to time out the contact.
Yeah.
And, well, we can see it in slow motion. He might have got there a fraction early. That's hard to call if you're down on the field at full speed.
Henry deciding not to bother playing the football, playing the receiver all the way, and got away with it.
3rd and 5, out of the shotgun, 4-man rush. O'Donnell throws and has a first down. Ernie Mills makes the catch, takes it to the 29. James Williams makes the hit, 12-yard gain.
Oh, you can't throw it any better than that. Williams had great coverage. You can't ask for better coverage than that. Anything tighter than that, you're going to draw a flag. And yet O'Donnell right into the hands of Ernie Mills. Beautifully thrown, top of your screen. Watch Williams. He knows what he has to play for. You got a little outside move on the part of Mills, but still played it well, and O'Donnell right on target.
That's the fruits of throwing that pass every day, 10 or 12 times from the middle of July in training camp.
Foster tackled by Henry Jones on the 10th drive, 10th play of a drive that began back at the 19-yard line. 8:20 to go, first quarter, no score.
A good look there at what Buffalo is going to try to do when the Steelers go too tight single back. They're going to walk Henry Jones, a strong safety, all the way up on the line of scrimmage. When you've got your safety making plays that close to the line of scrimmage, you're only in 3 deep back there, and that's what the Bills are right now.
2nd and 8. Stone in motion. Fake to Foster, and a little dump off, and coming in to break up the screen is Mark Maddox, as Foster was the intended receiver, but it was smelled out perfectly by Mark Maddox, and Foster is shaken up.
Uh-oh. That's not good. He was hit as he went up for the ball by Maddox. It didn't look that dramatic. And he is in pain. Now look again. Screen is set up beautifully. Maddox plays it well.
Oh, rolled the ankle in.
Oh, he saw the ankle roll, and he is in agony at the moment.
Yeah, looked like the left ankle of Barry Foster rolled to the inside.
Well, that's about the last thing the Steelers wanted to see. Barry Foster shaken up. They'll go back and check him out. It's 3rd down and 8 at the 28-yard line, and Leroy Thompson, who's normally a 3rd down back, would be in there anyway, and he's going to stay in as O'Donnell throws. The catch is made by Eric Green, the tight end, and he has a first down to the 18-yard line. Stopped by Mickey Washington. ABC's Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Buick and your local Buick dealer. Remember, Buick, the new symbol for quality in America. Apple, makers of Macintosh. Bud Light, if you want great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. And Delta Airlines, with 290 flights a week, nobody gives you more of Europe than Delta.
They told you Eric Green was 280 pounds. Those extra pounds got a first down. As we look at the ankle now of Barry Foster, they do appear as if they're going to take him in for a possible x-ray.
Here's Thompson. He takes it to the 15. Now, Thompson came in on the 17th of October in relief of an injured Barry Foster at halftime and gained 101 yards on 16 carries against the Saints. So he has done it before in a relief role.
He's also caught a few passes out of the backfield, 14 receptions, and was kind of considered the 3rd down back when Barry Foster's in there.
2nd and 7. And they give it to Thompson. And Thompson, doing a Foster imitation, gets to the 8. That's close to another first down. Jones and Kelso make the hit. 6:15 to go. First quarter, no score.
Well, this is what any back loves to see happen in front of him. That was just sensational blocking on the left side of the offensive line by Pittsburgh. And The pressure now on the front wall of the Steelers more than ever with Thompson replacing Foster. But that was good-looking blocking. Boy, take a look there. Patton cut to the ground. Dawson spun back to the inside. This is a group that the rest of the country doesn't know an awful lot about, but they will.
Third and a short one. And here's Thompson. Cuts it back. Touchdown. Whoa.
Oh, I thought that was a 2-yard loss.
Sure will run to daylight. That play designed to go over the right side.
Bruce Smith, Frank, gets in there, and he's the guy that forces Thompson to jump to the outside. And a severe case of the quicks by Leroy Thompson. Look at the right. There's Bruce Smith. He is right in Thompson's face.
What a good move to get outside by Thompson. A high stepper as opposed to Foster. Is a bit of a scurrying back.
Gary Anderson for the point after. A 15-play, 81-yard drive for the Steelers to take a 7-0 lead. And now it's time for a regular feature on what's new in the world of sports science and technology.
A look for
5:36 left in the first quarter. 7-0 Steelers. Anderson kicks off. And taking it at the 3-yard line is Don Beebe. Running back kicks for the first time in 2 years. And he can get only to the 17-yard line. That's where the Bills will take over after Darren Perry makes the tackle. 5:26 to go in the first. 7-0 Pittsburgh. Goodyear Blimp, Spirit of Akron, providing the Phoenix on this gorgeous night high above Three Rivers Stadium. Steelers lead 7-0, but while we were away, Barry Foster had to be taken back, and there he is. Moments ago, they're going to x-ray the ankle. We get a report shortly on Barry Foster as the Bills take over at the 17. And the crowd making it difficult for Kelly and the Bills as they set up Thomas on a screen, and Thurman is out of bounds at the 27-yard line. That should be enough for a first down. Greg Lloyd running him out.
Interesting talking about the crowd noise, and the home team really tries to make it difficult on the Buffalo offense, but Marv Levy and Bill Cowher both telling us yesterday that oftentimes it works against the defense. Hard to make those calls.
Thurman Thomas picks up 4, gets to the 31, stopped by Kevin Green. Second down, 6.
Safe to say, Dan, the defense is probably making more calls after the team comes up to the offensive line of scrimmage than the offensive team.
Right, there's so much communication that goes on between the linebackers and the defensive backs, and the DBs have farther to yell and communicate than anybody else.
On 2nd and 6, Kelly throws, and Reed can't make the play. He's double teamed there. Rod Woodson
almost gets number 8.
Yeah. He's on a pace, is Woodson, to tie the record set by Dick Night Train Lane. 14 interceptions in a season. He's got 7 at the halfway mark.
Speaking for Dick Night Train Lane, that was in a 12-game season that he got those 14 back in 1952.
3rd and 6, Buffalo at the 31, 7-0 Pittsburgh. Kelly somehow escapes, and reaching out, he's able to pick up the first down. Brown makes the tackle, but his forward progress nets him the first to the 38-yard line. That time he was flushed out by Rod Woodson on a blitz.
You got to love Kelly, though. There's no hook slide with him. He knew how far he had to go to get the first down. He was not going to play it safe. He was going to get the first down. He knows exactly where the sticks are. He's not going to slide first, play it safe. He gets the first.
And on first down, the throw is caught at the 44-yard line. The umpire, Art Dean, is coming in as Andre Reed makes the catch up at the 44 for a gain of 6.
I think Woodson might have hurt his hand. Again, Woodson made a good effort to get to the ball, playing very tightly. And Andre Reed, down on his knees, comes up with it.
Boy, and that was not intentional for Andre to be down on his knees. He slipped and fell.
Second and a long three, and trying to make a diving catch is Billy Brooks. Can't hold on. Brooks, former Colt. When James Lofton was let go by Buffalo, they were in the market for a receiver, and Marv Levy had always liked Brooks. He'd seen him a lot because the teams meet twice a year and picks him up.
And they just swapped jerseys. You still want to say Lofton tries for the ball.
Brooks more of a control receiver and a good one. He runs great patterns. That's what Kelly and Levy like.
They have Thomas and a double slot to the right on third and a long three, and Thurman looks for a flag. Greg Lloyd provides the coverage, and the officials say it was legal.
First time we've called Greg Lloyd's name tonight, but he is having a great year. Good pass rusher, good linebacker, and Dan, as you pointed out last night in the conversation, Bill Cowher, this is a hitter.
You love the way Greg Lloyd plays the game, and during the course of tonight's action, we'll see him make more than just a couple big hits, and we're talking about earthquake-type collisions. He is a Terminator-type football player.
Chris Moore, the punt, Rod Woodson back to accept it. And from the 14, Woodson steps out of bounds up at the 22. 41-yard kick, 8-yard run back, 3:28 to play in the quarter. 7-0 Steelers. Sunday Night Football.
Jerry Rice had a career yesterday.
Yeah, maybe he was right. They're not using me enough.
4 touchdown receptions for Rice yesterday. In what, 8 total receptions? He's batting .500 with touchdown catches. That's not bad. 4 out of 8.
That is the first in the NFC West. Here's O'Donnell, and a great sack is made by Wright as O'Donnell was able to escape at first, rolling the other way, and Wright stays right with him.
Wright is not your typical nose tackle. He doesn't give you a big surge, push the pile back into the quarterback, but he will give you plays like that. He's very agile, very quick for a defensive lineman. Again, not like your nose tackle. He spins off here. Now look at the quickness. O'Donnell spins out, and here comes Wright. Good tackle.
I think Neal's going to try to kick him in the head.
He has 3.5 sacks this season, does Wright. That's a 12-yard sack. It's 2nd and 22. Thompson in motion. The handoff goes to Merrill Hodge. Out past the 20, the 30, and out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
Oh, did they take advantage of Bruce Smith sensing that he was in the upright position, going to blow upfield, and they had the perfect play called. They went right where Bruce was.
He was thinking total pass, forget the draw, I'm going to get the quarterback.
He just blows upfield. He's out of the play. He gets shoved up there by John Jackson. He turns upfield, picks off Talley. Tremendous play by Jackson. He puts Talley on the ground and keeps going on downfield. Oh, that's beautiful by John Jackson, the left tackle.
Give him a double.
Whoa, you got that right.
Here's Thompson out of the right side, and he smacked into Cornelius Bennett.
Hello.
That run by Merrill Hodge, a 24-yard run. He'd gained 27 yards all season on 11 carries, sparingly used, but he'll have to play more tonight because of the injury to Foster, or carry more. And here's another look at Bennett on the last play.
A little indecisive on the part of Thompson. Do I go out? Do I go in?
Or do I go on my back?
That's one way to characterize it.
I think Cornelius Bennett attempting to kind of slow the Steelers' momentum down here a little bit. That's a good way to do it.
2nd and 9 at the 35. Less than 2 minutes to play in the quarter. Pittsburgh leading 7-0. And the catch is made by Jeff Graham. And Graham runs halfway across the field and takes it out to the 47-yard line. Marcus Patton makes the tackle. 13-yard gain. First down, Pittsburgh.
Going against the Bills' zone defense, and it was really O'Donnell who looked to his left. Watch Graham at the top. But right at this point, they're playing soft on Graham because O'Donnell's looking left, and he spins back, fires to Graham, and he is wide open. Breaks the back across the middle and gets the first down. O'Donnell with a good look off.
The problem, Frank, is the longer you run laterally like that, the more you give the guys who are up by the line of scrimmage a chance to come back downfield and get a lick on you, and that's what happened there.
Here's Thompson. He gets 2, takes it to the 50. Thompson is a third-year back out of Penn State, as we mentioned before, used in third down situations, sometimes in the 2-back set, first and second downs. And as we await the results of the X-ray on Foster, it becomes very clear that Leroy Thompson is going to have to carry a good deal of the load tonight.
Thompson, a 6th-round draft pick, and this is a very young Steelers team. They've got 12 rookies on this team, and most of the other players are 3rd, 4th, 5th-year players.
On 2nd and 8. O'Donnell throws. Adrian Cooper can't make the lunging catch.
And O'Donnell took a tremendous shot
From Darryl Talley.
Oh. He held on to it as long as he could, waiting for Cooper to get open. When you get a tight end that far downfield and that much across the field, your quarterback held the ball for a long time. And he takes one right in the face from Maddox, I think it is, number 55.
Well, you're right, too, about Talley. He was also there.
He had the matchup he wanted, a tight end one-on-one with Bennett.
Talley got to him first, and then Maddox put the finishing crunch on him. But he gets up. It's 3rd and 8, 20 seconds left in the quarter. A little fake toss, and they give it to Stone on an end around. And Stone has a first down. Takes it to the 40 on what will be the final play of the quarter.
Broke the tackle of Hanson for the first down.
And nothing new watching Dwight Stone run and end. The guy's, that's his 8th carry of the year from a wide receiver position.
End of the first quarter. Back we come in the second quarter of Monday Night Football. After this commercial message and a word from our ABC station. Fabulous sight. The Allegheny and the Monongahela rivers come in and form the Ohio River in downtown Pittsburgh, and Three Rivers Stadium is the site as we start the second quarter. And Thompson on first down from the 38 cannot get on track. Cornelius Bennett is there to ride him down. Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. And all the team members at Saturn, a different kind of company, a different kind of car. Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Deerdorf, Pittsburgh. Second quarter, 7-0. Steelers lead it, and they dominated. 10:45 time of possession and 120 yards in the first quarter alone for Pittsburgh.
They had about a 6-minute drive for that 7 points.
And on 2nd and 8, it's batted incomplete. Jeff Wright, who's been in the middle of a lot of the action tonight, knocks it down. It'll be 3rd down and 8. And the Steelers tonight have been perfect on 3rd down opportunities, 5 for 5.
We were talking earlier about Wright, what a fine athlete he is. Ordinarily, you get that nose tackle. Dan, he's big and squatty and can push the pile, but Wright is a good athlete.
He is, and he really doesn't have the bulk that you mentioned most nose tackles have. And, of course, you know, that's an asset in pass rushing, of which Wright really excels. But it's not really an asset when you're really talking about plugging the middle in the run game. This is not a big build defensive line.
Right out, Lotus in. Pressure on O'Donnell, and the sack is made back at the 49 by Phil Hansen, who'd been hurt, came back last week, played well, particularly toward the end and in overtime against New England, and about ready to regain his starting job.
Got another big pressure by Bruce Smith, and he's had about 1 million this year. He's got 8.5 sacks, but he is always around the quarterback. This time he forces O'Donnell out of the pocket, and Hansen trips him up.
Mark Royals to punt. Russell Copeland back to receive it. And Copeland, the rookie, a flag down, calls for a fair catch at the 6. However, there is a flag down back at the 46-yard line. Ed Hockley is the referee tonight, and it's against Pittsburgh. That's the first penalty of the game.
Yeah, they're going to call it on the Steeler on the far side of the field, who was the wingman. And it looks like they're going to have to punt this one over.
Hockley explaining the options to the special teams captain, Steve Tasker.
Holding on the kicking team, number 25, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, fourth down.
It's Gary Jones.
Take a look at the right side of your screen. See Jones there, number 25. He's got Steve Tasker wrapped up pretty good. Tasker, one of the fine special teams players in the National Football League, year in and year out, makes things happen. This certainly ought to give Buffalo a chance of getting much better field position out of this exchange.
Line of scrimmage is now the 42. And Copeland will let it go, and it goes into the end zone. So, in fact, it turns out to be advantageous to the tune of 14 yards. Instead of at the 6, they take it at the 20 with 13:45 left in the half. Right here on ABC. 13:45 to go in the first half. 7-0 Pittsburgh, but they are without the services of Barry Foster. They picked up a little late, sprained ankle. He's back getting x-rayed, and the Steelers come across the line and will contend they were induced by Howard the House Ballard, number 75. The House put out the welcome mat.
And few people refuse the invitation. And he weighed 330-plus pounds.
False start prior to the snap by the right tackle. 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
The referee doesn't even want to give his number for fear that he might upset Howard.
Now the Bills begin at the 15. First and 15. 7-0 Pittsburgh early in the second quarter, and here's Thurman Thomas. And Thurman Thomas turning next to nothing into something, but a marker goes down. An 8-yard gain. Chad Brown, rookie out of Colorado, second-round pick, makes the tackle. And it had been a penalty-free first quarter, but now we've had a lot of flags in the last couple of minutes.
Steelers all indicating that it was holding against Buffalo.
Is true.
Holding by the offense, number 51. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat, first down.
Jim Retzer, mentioned before, a college teammate at North Carolina State of Steeler coach Bill Cowherd.
There it is right there. He gets the grab on Gary Jones coming in on the safety blitz. Good intentions, bad execution.
Makes it first and 22, and they give it to Thurman Thomas. Out to the 13 goes Thurman. Gary Jones makes the tackle. And if you pick this up a little bit late, the only touchdown of the game scored by the Pittsburgh Steelers on this tremendous run by Leroy Thompson, taking the place of the injured Barry Foster. Kelly rolling to his left throws, and it's simply dropped at the 19-yard line by the tight end Pete Metzelaar.
Oh, my Lord. Kelly is sandwiched by Kevin Green and Kenny Davidson. The two guys meet at Kelly. What a difference Kevin Green has made to the Steelers. Came over from the Rams as an unrestricted free agent. Jim Kelly waits until the last minute, but look at his reward.
Third and 17. And it is almost intercepted. Intended for BB, and D.J. Johnson nearly picked it off at the 25.
Johnson looking like Abe Woodson on that one. Just did not hold on to it. Playing it perfectly.
Looking like Abe Woodson or Rod Woodson.
And that's true.
Abe was a good 49er, though. Good return man.
Here's Moore to do the punting. The line of scrimmage is the 13. Woodson is back to receive it. 48-yard kick. And an 8-yard run back. Harwell Gardner stops him at the 47. 12:41 remaining first half. 7-0 Steelers. A lack of respect, and that's the Bills' lament, and I guess it also fuels their fire in a way. And when you take a look at this game, it continues. Pittsburgh is favored by 3 coming in.
Still no respect.
Yep, despite the best record in the league.
But you do have to admire their resiliency. Here you have a team that's being really pummeled by many members of the media saying, you know, the serial killers of the Super Bowl, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yet they have maintained their focus.
Here's Thompson on first down. He takes it to the 50-yard line.
To the tune of being 7-1, that focus, and they're playing about as good as anyone in the NFL right now.
If anything, the indications for Marv Levy's ball club are really better than they have been in the past, because they've had such a high-powered offense. Here they are now not playing all that well offensively. You know, we've documented, 5 or 6 games with only 1 touchdown offensively, and they're being carried by their defense. Their offense will get better, and you'd have to think that if it peaks late in the season, it's really going to propel them into the playoffs on a good note.
2nd and 6, and here's Thompson to the 45. Here's the update on Barry Foster, by the way. The X-rays on the ankle negative, so that's good news, obviously, for the Steelers. And they will decide at halftime if he has a chance to play in the second half. So he has gone at least for the half, and Thompson has taken over.
Well, we've all seen players over the years go off the field, and if Barry Foster comes back and plays in the second half, boy, it'll be some testament to his toughness, because that ankle really rolled over.
On 3rd and 1, they give it to Thompson, and he gets a first down, taking it to the 41-yard line. Thompson hardly a slouch coming into the game, and we mentioned before he filled in for Foster in October and had gained 100 yards against New Orleans. He had been averaging 5 yards a carry coming in.
And one thing Bill Cowher has preached all week long, and of course he preaches all season long, don't turn it over. The Bills have dominated some of their games because of the turnover. We've already talked about their 29 turnovers that they have had. So far, the Steelers have avoided any turnovers tonight.
First down from the 41, off the play fake. O'Donnell dumps it over the middle. It is Thompson making the catch and taking it to the 27. Tackled by Patton. Another Pittsburgh first down.
Good move by O'Donnell to get out of trouble, and also on the part of Thompson. Thompson, instead of spinning to the outside, as a lot of backs might, he broke back to the inside and got good yardage out of it. O'Donnell in trouble here. Here comes Hansen. Just kind of throws a dart to Thompson. He spins and gets away from Patton for the first down.
Steelers moving it up and down the field. They've gained 137 yards in a quarter plus 5 minutes. But again, the Bills have been giving up a lot of yardage, but very few points. And timeout is called here by Pittsburgh. It'll be 1st and 10 when we come back with 9:57 to go in the half. Steelers 7, Bills 6. Gordon providing the great shots from high above Three Rivers Stadium. First down for the Steelers at the Bills 28. O'Donnell throws over the middle and it's dropped. It's incomplete, intended for Merrill Hodge. It'll be 2nd down. Cornelius Bennett with the coverage. And Jeff Wright favoring his arm coming off. To be replaced by Mike Lodish.
This should come as no surprise tonight that we're seeing people leave the game because of the intensity of the hitting. This was forecast to be a real head knocker by both teams, and if you can hear the hitting and you can see it as well as we can see it here, no wonder people are leaving.
Thompson on a draw. Chased out of bounds by Talley before he can get the first down. John Jackson threw a nice block to spring him, and it will be 3rd and 2 after an 8-yard pickup.
John Jackson having quite a night. We've already talked about him earlier, and that time helping Thompson get to the outside.
Locked up with Bruce Smith. You're exactly right, Frank. Jackson is turning in a big one.
Here he is, bottom of your screen from the reverse angle. Got himself As you said, Dan, locked up with Bruce Smith, and Bruce Smith, with the great speed, didn't even try to pursue that.
The key was he stayed with him all that time without holding.
Third and a long one from the 19. O'Donnell throws incomplete, intended for Ernie Mills. Good coverage, Nate Odom. Interesting call on 3rd and 1. And we'll have to settle for a field goal attempt.
I think that was an O'Donnell pass. They said, get the field goal kicker out here.
Boy, Pittsburgh was all over that. But you're running the ball so effectively. You're moving the ball on the ground relatively easily, and you got 3rd and 1, and you elect to go to the air, especially Jeff Wright on the bench for Buffalo. I think I might have been tempted to challenge the Bills by running the ball.
Gary Anderson, a 37-yard field goal attempt. Mark Royals holds. And he tacks on 3 more, does Gary Anderson, as the Steelers take a 10-0 lead. Neil O'Donnell, who may have changed that call on the 3rd and 1 play, on the bench as the kickoff comes down into the arms of Don Peavy, and he is stopped cold at the 18-yard line.
He was whacked. That's what he was. Well, we were away for commercial. Bill Cowher and had a visit to Neil O'Donnell, and then Ron Earhart, the offensive coordinator, came over and chatted with him.
For Neil's sake, I hope he didn't audible to that pass away from a running play, and he might have, because he got a 2-minute lecture by both Earhart and Cowher over on the bench.
Offensive coordinator Ron Earhart, former Giants offensive coordinator and head coach for New England.
And if that was the case, you got to credit Walt Corey for giving him the look.
Here's Thurman Thomas on 1st down, picks up 2, takes it to the 20. 2nd and 8 with 8:57 to go in the first half. And the Pittsburgh Steelers on top 10-0. Thurman Thomas, a little milestone there, 30th player in NFL history with 10,000 yards from scrimmage, rushing and receiving combined. Andre Reed is out of bounds. If you say, well, 30 guys have done it, that's one thing. But take a look at this. Eric Dickerson did it in 80 games. That's the record. Brown in 81, Jim Brown, and Thomas doing it in 87, 3rd fastest in history to reach 10,000 yards from scrimmage.
And ahead of Walter Payton, if you can believe that. But less than half of Walter Payton's, what, 21,000?
On 1st down, and he'll add a little bit more in his pursuit of Payton as Levon Kirkland, 99, makes the stop.
Really unusual here for the Steelers. Their 4 linebackers all have numbers in the 90s. You think of a linebacker having a number in the 50s. They're 91, 99, 94, and 95.
2nd and 8. And Carwell Gardner, the intended receiver.
There's one of those 90s.
That's Chad Brown, the rookie in Colorado. That bounced right off Gardner. A lot of people do. He goes about 250, does Gardner.
He's going, man, when I hit the Kansas State guys, they went down.
Colorado State was a snap. Good look at Chad Brown, number 94.
3rd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
They just ran out of time. Oh, they're down to 7.
We've got a lot of time, huh? There's Woodson.
Kelly, incomplete, intended for Andre Reed, who contends he was held, looks around and sees no flag.
Woodson came on the blitz, released Reed to the inside. They picked up Woodson, but they could not get the ball to Reed. Remarkable year for Woodson. 6 sacks a year ago. He's got a couple this year already. 4 interceptions. Great athlete. How many times have we heard that this year? Really?
Chris Moore to punt. Rod Woodson to accept it. Ooh. Short kick. Takes a good bounce, though. And Tasker falls on it at the 18-yard line.
Boy, the Bills are contending that one of the Steelers hit the ball.
Johnson touched it.
DJ or Woodson have made a little pass at it.
The officials are having a little conference to see if one of them saw a touch by Johnson. All right, let's see if we can see it here.
Woodson went by first, and then Johnson went by.
At this spot, Pittsburgh's ball, first down.
Yeah, that was a good look there, guys, of DJ Johnson. And a nice athletic move getting up in the air and getting over the ball.
You just saw Rod Woodson say, my fault. He was saying he should have called for the fair catch. Or should have called Johnson off the ball. He's telling him.
On the stat sheet, it's a 50-yard kick. The officials make the right call. Steelers from the 18-yard line. Here's Thompson. Picks up 3, takes it to the 21. Thrust back by Marcus Patton.
Well, right now, if you're tracking Buffalo's offense, you say the cup is half full or half empty. Are they just being throttled by the Steelers defensively, or are they just not playing very well offensively? It's a little bit of both, and this is an offensive team that's been in a funk all year. And take a look at that, only 32 yards rushing for Buffalo, and they're not making a lot happen and keeping the pressure on their defensive team.
2nd and 7. And that's incomplete.
Oh, what a play.
As Marcus Patton, who made the last play, makes this one as well. Merrill Hodge was the intended receiver.
Patton, of course, replaced Shane Conlon, who left as a free agent. Has worked well on the inside, as has Maddox, the other inside linebacker, who replaced Carlton Bailey. Watch this play, though. Patton was used as a pass defensive linebacker when Shane Conlon was the starter, and he makes a good play right here.
You know who we haven't seen much of downfield tonight, and that's Eric Green, the big tight end. He's in the slot to this side.
Look at him in the slot, 280 pounds in the slot.
3rd and 7. And they're going to Green. On cue, makes the catch at the 35, tackled by Darby. First down.
Well, that is all Darby is going to be able to do. Very wisely does not go low on Green. He weighs 280, and much of it is below the belt. He doesn't wear any thigh pads whatsoever. That amazed both Dan and me when we were down in the field earlier. But he has amazing agility. Not only the speed, but the ability to twist and turn that huge body. Like a wide receiver.
I'd try to get him a half a dozen catches a game. I would be throwing the ball to Eric Green as long as he's upright.
Here is Thompson on a sweep to the 41-yard line with 6 minutes to play in the first half. Steelers on top, 10-0. Last week they were down 16-0 to Cincinnati, and it was a touchdown catch by Green, a 71-yarder that helped propel Pittsburgh to its comeback win.
Well, what he's doing so far for the Steelers on the year is unheard of. He has the highest per reception average of anybody on the team. His average play is longer than Stone or Graham or Mills or any of the wide receivers. Over 18 yards of reception for a tight end. Those are extraordinary numbers. For a 290-pound tight end, they're unbelievable.
2nd and 3, and Thompson picks up the first down. Steelers really have the running game going, Foster or no Foster, as Thompson takes it out to the 49-yard line.
And we'll go back to what we said earlier. Buffalo has had a tough time all year long against the run. 21st in the league after 8 games. And they were just blown off the line of scrimmage here once again.
Take a look. Which direction are the white shirts going? They're going backwards. This has been a strong first half performance by this Steeler offensive machine, in particular, their offensive line.
1st and 10 at the 49. O'Donnell. And almost intercepted by Bennett on what would have been a spectacular interception.
What Bruce Smith almost did the same thing against the Jets, where he made the interception. It looked exactly like that. This time it was Cornelius Bennett's turn.
Great athletes on the outside. Bennett on one side, Talley on the other. Watch this. Going high in the air. Times it out. And almost gets it.
Oh, great look at it, guys. Great look.
tremendous effort
to even get a hand on the ball.
On second down and 10, this is Thompson's 14th carry of the game, and he has now gained 64 yards. He's tackled by Lotus and Maddox.
Those kinds of plays by Bennett you saw a moment ago are the kinds of plays the Bills have been winning with all year long, only they have been getting the interceptions. 3 interceptions by Talley on one side, a couple by Bennett. Bruce Smith, 8.5 sacks, but also an interception.
Well, it's buckle up and make a big play here now for Buffalo. If their offense is going to have a chance to do anything here before the first half comes to an end, they got to keep Pittsburgh here from converting.
50-yard line, 3rd and 9. 3:55 left in the half. Swings it out to Thompson, and he can only take it to the Bills' 49-yard line. Talley makes the tackle, and Mark Royals will come in to punt. One thing about the Bills and Walt Corey, their defense keeping them in the game, like was the case last week against New England. They were down 10-0, came from behind late to win. The Bills have outscored the opponents 64-13 in the fourth quarter this season. As Royals' punt takes a very good bounce for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who down it at the 6-yard line. Tim Jordan is there, and then a pin Buffalo deep.
That's what Royals was looking for the last time he punted, but he got off too good of a kick and put it into the end zone. And he was very, very opportune with that punt right there with 3:17 left in the first half. And a long way to go.
That place to get something started down here. You don't want to take the chance or take the risk, and Tasker coming awfully close. You understand why he was held a few plays earlier on a punt, but this is pretty risky territory down here. If you'd like to get something happening offensively before you go in.
I'd try to find out where Greg Lloyd is. Stay away from him.
From the 7, here is Thurman Thomas. Nowhere. And he is tackled. Kenny Davidson and Donald Evans are right there. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Mike Tomczak there on the left, Neil O'Donnell on the right, talking to Ron Earhart. And the terrible towels. They are a-swinging here in Pittsburgh.
Kelly thrown out of the end zone. It is tipped and it is caught up at the 11-yard line. Pete Metzelaars was there. Kenny Davidson tipped it.
Very alert play by Metzelaars.
Davidson's number 64. There he goes up right there and gets it with the left hand.
The danger we spoke of, turning it over deep in your own territory with seconds remaining in the half.
3rd and 6, and that's incomplete. Intended for Metzelaars crossing over. Carnell Lake with the coverage. And Buffalo to punt again.
Boy, we have seen on the part of both clubs tonight some well-timed hits by members of their respective secondaries, and this time Carnell Lake is the guy who times it out, gets a hand in there, keeps Metzelaars from being able to control the football.
Well, what a great lift that was. Lake not drawing the flag. Good defensive play.
Moore to punt, Woodson back to receive it. A boomer.
Wow, good kick.
56 yards. Woodson brings it back to the 42-yard line with 2:01 remaining, and that's a good break for Pittsburgh because they're going to get a free stoppage at the 2-minute warning and then be able to use their remaining timeout. So a good break there for the Steelers. The Steelers have 2 timeouts remaining. And they'll get the free one at the 2-minute warning as they take over at their own 42-yard line.
I made reference to, was the cup half full or half empty as far as Buffalo's offense against the Steelers' defense? I think this play here by Carnell Lake kind of reflects it all. We have seen a tremendous first half of defensive play by the Steelers.
Here's Thompson. Gets one, takes it to the 43. The 2-minute warning comes with 1:56 remaining in the half. Steelers with the ball on top, 10-0. Coming up at halftime, the Steeler defense then and now. A look back at the steel curtain, and the Steelers defense ranked #1 in the league coming in to the game tonight and shutting the Bills out to this point. Also, the National Hockey League on-ice officials, the referees and linesmen have gone out on strike. So the NHL continues on. The games will update that as well. First down, Pittsburgh. To make it second down and 8 at the 44-yard line as O'Donnell throws, and it's off the fingertips of Merrill Hodge. It'll be third down and 8. Mark Maddox forcing the issue, number 55.
Fine play by O'Donnell, under a lot of pressure to get that ball near Hodge. Ordinarily, very good hands on the part of Hodge, one of the good receivers out of the backfield. He just didn't handle it. Again, the pressure on O'Donnell. Right up the middle. A little delayed move by Talley.
You know, Frank, for a guy that's not known as a real active quarterback, all half we've seen Neil O'Donnell be nifty back there and make some things happen where other quarterbacks might have taken a sack.
Third and 8 at the 44-yard line. O'Donnell pressured, sacked, and the ball is loose. I think Hockley said the play was over. He was down by contact. The ball coming loose after the play was over. Hansen will get credit for the sack, and Pittsburgh will punt. And Marv Levy, Levy was ready to call a timeout, and he wants a timeout.
Well, he saved 11 seconds on the play clock, but he used the timeout.
The guy who made this happen was Bruce Smith. He made the pass rush from the backside. Boy, it sure looked like that was a fumble. Looked like the ball came out. Oh, and O'Donnell snagged it back in there, but then it comes out again. But Bruce Smith made that happen with a big rush from outside.
Building in downtown Pittsburgh, the local heroes, Mario Lemieux, Roberto Clemente, Joe Green, Jack Lambert, and at the bottom, Bill Mazeroski in the famous home run trot when he won the 1960 World Series. What a sight from the Goodyear Blimp. At the 38-yard line, Pittsburgh to punt on fourth down. Mark Royals sending it to Copeland. It's a short kick. Copeland lets it go. And you hear the Steelers saying, don't touch it, and it rolls dead at the 18-yard line. So the Bills have it there. They have 2 timeouts remaining. They have 1:24 on the clock, and they're down 10-0.
I had something a while ago. The Bills offense, whether it's the Steelers defense or their offense, they seem to be in a bit of a funk. But we have seen them over the years how quickly they can explode on you, though. Out of that no-huddle offense, they can move that ball downfield so suddenly.
I think we saw Cornelius Bennett and Bruce Smith, or they're discussing whether or not these guys are going to score tonight or not.
At the 18-yard line, Kelly throws over the middle, and that's incomplete. Intended for Andre Reed, who has been collared tonight by that Pittsburgh secondary.
Kevin Green forcing that play. Former Ram with a great move to force Kelly to release it a lot sooner than he wanted to. Breaking to the inside. Kelly had to fire.
Kelly is 5 out of 16 for 42 yards. Screen, Thomas, and a nice tackle as Darren Perry comes up to get him by the ankles.
Boy, you're seeing a hustling defense tonight. Everyone covering for everyone. Screen, good call. Looked like he was going to make some yards. Darren Perry steps in to make the stop. Kelly hit again.
Third and 10 at the 18-yard line. And what Kelly's doing is he's taking time off the clock. The Steelers should be the ones calling the timeout here. Kelly's going to take the play clock down to 7. And on third and 10, he throws for Andre Reed, who gets loose. And Reed gets out of bounds at the 32-yard line.
Well, Woodson was the underneath man. Darren Perry didn't get over from the free safety.
And it's almost a look what I found thing, as the Bills were in the kind of mode to take the clock down as far as they could. Third and 10. and they lost one in the direction of Andre Reed, who gets free, and now they're in business.
Somehow Rod Woodson became disoriented and did not realize where Andre Reed was. He turned the wrong way when the ball was in the air and what seemed lost.
Here's Thomas on an inside handoff. He takes it to the 29-yard line. And now Buffalo will spend the timeout. Brown makes the hit. Timeout Bills. Jim Kelly on 3rd and 10, and that was the situation when he hit Reed on a 51-yard completion. Is now 9 for 9 this year. Kelly, to that point, had thrown for a total of 42 yards, and then 51 on one play. It is 2nd down and 8 at the 29-yard line. 24 seconds remaining in the half, and one timeout. And Kelly gets sacked, and that may take him out of field goal range. Kenny Davidson gets credit for the sack. The ball came loose after the play was dead.
Well, you're so right, Al. Steve Christie had a 59-yarder against Miami, but that would be about what he would be looking at from here. Actually, they're going to say they blew the whistle at close to the 40-yard line.
It's just like a ball carrier, forward progress. Jim Kelly body slammed by Davidson.
You saw Levy calling for the timeout, but nobody sees him, and play resumes, and Kelly fires over the middle, and that's incomplete at the 20, and time has expired. Andre Reed, covered by Jones. The Pittsburgh Steelers gave up the big play on 3rd and 10, but rise to the occasion, keep the Bills out of field goal range, and have them shut out through the first 30 minutes. 10-0 Pittsburgh. That we come with halftime activities after this message from the NFL and a word from our ABC stations. Beautiful night, Monday night in Pittsburgh. Well, when we took a look at the schedule in the spring, and it said November 15th in Pittsburgh, well, you could have gotten anything, but we got real lucky tonight. Temperature around 50 degrees, beautiful night. And it's been a beautiful night for the Steelers and their fans, because there are the statistics through the first half of play, and they add up to a 10-0 advantage at halftime.
And keep in mind, of those 116 total yards for Buffalo, they got 50 yards of those on that one long pass to Andre Reed there at the end of the first half. You subtract that play, and what you have seen by the Steeler defense is enough to make everyone here in Pittsburgh think back to the golden days in the 70s when the Steel Curtain was choking the life out of every offensive team in the National Football League. And
you sound like a poet.
Well, while you don't see Joe Green and Jack Lambert and Jack Ham and Andy Russell and LC and everybody running around out here tonight, they're playing like that group used to.
Steve Christie puts it in the air for Buffalo, and the kick comes down into the arms of Rod Woodson from the 8-yard line. And he brings it back out to the 30. It's a 22-yard run back. Thomas Smith makes the tackle up at the 30-yard line.
Cooler heads prevail.
The Pittsburgh Steelers with the steel logo there on only one side of their helmet. Talking to Dan Rooney about that before the game, he said that goes back to 1962 when the steel industry asked us to do it. We only put it on one side of the helmet because at the time it was an experiment, but it got so much publicity and everybody seemed to like it, we just kept it that way.
People will talk about it.
Yeah, like I just did.
On first down, they give it to Leroy Thompson. And he begins the second half with a 15-yard gain to the 45. Leon Searcy led the way with a block. And the report on Barry Foster, who suffered a sprained ankle early in the game and then had it x-rayed. It was negative, were the x-rays, but he will not return. And Thompson has done a most admirable job filling in. In fact, he's gained 79 yards in 16 carries and scored a touchdown.
And an A+ to Ron Earhart there. That was a good-looking play. The pump downfield by O'Donnell, the spin by Thompson, and the handoff.
From the 44, Thompson again, picks up 4, gets it out to the 48-yard line. Darryl Talley makes the stop.
And I think we're going to see a lot more of the Pittsburgh running game here in the second half. They would be wise to pound it out on the ground. The first 2 plays of the second half, both have had the Bills' defensive line back on their heels. Pittsburgh offensive line has been dominating the line of scrimmage when they've had the ball, and they are picking up where they left off in half number 1.
2nd and 6. Thompson this time is split to the left. O'Donnell throws over the middle, and wide open is Dwight Stone to haul it in and take it to the 31-yard line.
Good pass by O'Donnell, and Bill sitting back in their zone. And he and Stone teaming up beautifully. Just killing the linebacker and right in front of the DB. He's looking right there. They're both reading it together. He knows he's going to get hit. Tucks the ball to the chest. Good play, first down.
20-yard pickup. 2 minutes into the second half. Pittsburgh on top. 10-0. Thompson. Nowhere. Great play by Mark Maddox. 3rd year out of Northern Michigan. The Bills going this year with Patton and Maddox in the middle when they lost Carlton Bailey and Shane Conlon to free agency.
They've done a good job filling in there, too. Both of them have made some superb plays. They're not very big. Both of them by around 240. Maddox even under 240. None of these Bills linebackers very big.
This is a heat wave for these Bills, especially Mark Maddox, played at Northern Michigan, up in Marquette. This is, it doesn't get this warm in the summertime.
Thank you. The play clock will be kept on the field.
The play clock here at Three Rivers Stadium has gone to black. It's not just erroneous, it's not functioning at all.
Second down and 13 at the 35-yard line. Thompson handing it to Ernie Mills. And Ernie Mills on a reverse gets all the way down to the 16-yard line. He's run out of bounds by Mark Kelso, and that's a first down.
Good play to call against the Bills. We've seen the reverse call twice tonight, but especially good against the Bills. I was talking about how they are not very big. What they are very quick. They pursue well, and number 55, Mark Maddox, shaking up on that play. But they do pursue well. Watch 78, Bruce Smith, going with the play, tries to get back into it, way out of it. And here comes Mills for a big gainer.
Up to this point in time, Frank, I think you'd agree with me, this is a double thumbs up to Ron Earhart for the game he's calling tonight offensively for the Steelers. They are running misdirections. They're mixing it up with power straight ahead. They're passing the ball in a timely fashion. The only thing I think it's been somewhat of a surprise tonight is that they haven't gone to Eric Green more than I think they should, but this has been a beautifully called game so far by Ron Earhart. He's got Buffalo really in a quandary as to where the ball is coming from.
You're right about that. He's been mixing it up so well. He's been using Thompson up the middle, who has now pointed out has filled in so well for Foster. But you come with a reverse, and then all of a sudden, maybe you run one time a half, and you're going to make a big difference in the pursuit the rest of the half. You come with the little screen, you're going to slow down the pass rush. They've really mixed it up well.
I think part of the problem for Buffalo, we saw Walt Corey there on the sideline. Where's the swizzle stick? This is a guy who perpetually chews on his little swizzle stick over on the sideline. I don't see it tonight. Walt. Yep. That might be the problem.
They had to weed him off it. Maddox comes off. And the Steelers tonight, remember the average gain in the league perennially is about 4.0. This year it's even lower. It's 3.9. And tonight they're averaging 6 yards a carry, and you'll win a lot of games when you can average 6 yards a carry.
Without Barry Foster.
Yeah. Barry with a sprained ankle will not return. Next week, the Steelers play at Denver. They've got 2 tough ones coming up at Denver, and then the following Sunday at Houston. And the Oilers, all of a sudden, with 4 straight wins, their schedule got a lot softer, are 5-4. First and 10 at the 16-yard line. Thompson. Minimal gain. Keith Gogenius has come in to replace Mark Maddox.
Marcus Patton was the guy that time who really drove upfield and made the good tackle. It's Gogenius, but it is right there. I thought that was going to be a much bigger gain for the Steelers, and Patton came up big for the boys from Buffalo.
Gain of a yard, second and 9.
They've had precious little help from their offensive team tonight, and once again, the pressure squarely on the backs of Buffalo defense.
O'Donnell. Open man is Green to the 1, first and goal.
Pass rush? What pass rush?
Oh, they did. Eric Green do a great job getting off the line of scrimmage. The Bills were thinking like we were thinking. This is Eric Green territory. They were buffeting him around at the line of scrimmage. They hit him as he came off, and he still fought and scrambled, and O'Donnell stayed alive until he got clear.
It's hard to rush 4 guys and get that far away from the quarterback. That was a serious lack of a pass rush by Buffalo, and they paid for it.
They did a good job on Green, but they just didn't get to O'Donnell.
First and goal from the 1. Play fake, toss into the end zone. Green again, touchdown.
Ron Earhart, again, 2 super calls. They've got the Bills guessing on every play. Good play action.
And the woes for Buffalo are going to continue because we're getting a report that Jim Kelly at halftime has suffered a concussion, and they'll probably be forced to go to Frank Reich when they get the ball.
Well, let's not throw in the towel for Buffalo if it's Frank Reich. Remember, this is the guy that beat Pittsburgh here in the playoffs last year. And on Monday night before, we have seen Frank Reich come in and come up huge for the Bills.
But he has not thrown a pass this season until we come back. And he tries to lead them from a 17-0 deficit. Anderson kicks off. Russell Copeland takes it in at the 1-yard line. And gets tackled as he reaches the 20-yard line and bent over. Let's go back and take a look at the next to last play of the half. Remember the sack that took Kelly out of field goal range for the Bills? This is where he also suffers the concussion.
Yeah, Kenny Davidson wraps up Kelly's arms. He's not able to get an arm out on the field, and watch his helmet bounce off the field right there.
And remember, right after that, Marv Levy was trying to get timeout. Then he was trying to get the play off. Kelly had lost track at the time. They could have thrown a 4 or 5-yard pass and maybe had a field goal attempt, and they didn't get it.
So Frank Reich, who has done a masterful job through the years in relief of Kelly, but now gets ready to throw his first pass of 1993, and he's 1 for 1. It's a 5-yard gain up to the 25. Andre Reed hauls it in. 2nd down and 5. Reich led the Bills last year to that incredible win over Houston, biggest comeback in NFL history, then brought him in here and won 24-3 the next week.
And I'm not sure right now Andre Reed knows where he is.
Oh, he's been shaken up. I think it might be his shoulder.
He's on his way over to the Buffalo sideline. He hit the ground hard. And boy, there's the go-to guy in the Buffalo offense. You subtract Kelly, now you subtract Andre Reed. He comes down hard on that right arm, that right shoulder.
Woodson there, Lloyd was there.
One of the most durable wide receivers in the league, a guy who takes a pounding week in and week out. It takes a lot to drive him away.
2nd and 5, and they give it to Thomas, and Thurman exploits a hole in the middle and picks up 9 to the 34. Tackled by Gary Jones with 9:35 to go in the 3rd quarter, and Pittsburgh trying to take possession, undisputed possession to first place in the AFC Central, leading 17-0.
Well, I think they're looking at Reed's left hand. Could have dislocated a finger, perhaps.
Russell Copeland replaces him. Copeland, rookie. And Thurman Thomas can't hold on. Bounced off his shoulder pads. And Out of bounds. Parnell Lake popped him.
Well, this is the kind of game, Dan, that is sort of self-generating. Everyone out there is trying to hit harder than his teammate.
It becomes a real feeding frenzy for a defensive team. Does this hit Thurman in the head?
Yes. The way it bounced, I thought it was the shoulder pad for sure. Turns out to be the helmet.
Either way, it was not his hands, which is where you like to have the pass hit.
2nd and 10 at the 35. Play clock is back in operation, as you can see. And Thurman Thomas carries again, but for only a yard. Kenny Davidson makes the stop. And Reed, who's caught 4 balls tonight for 72 yards, continues to get the attention.
We talked earlier about what this game means to Pittsburgh. They take a huge step up if they're able to beat Buffalo, and they are playing like a team that got the message. Well, they think they got Jim Richard to flinch at left guard, and I think they did.
False start. Number 51 prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. It remains 3rd down.
Al mentioned earlier how Richer and Bill Cowher were teammates at North Carolina State, and last night Bill Cowher marveling at the fact that Richer was still playing. This guy won the Outland Trophy when he was a senior in college and has been a marvelous pro ever since.
3rd and 14. White throwing up to the 47-yard line, and Don Beebe is able to not hold it in.
I'm with you. I thought we didn't see an indication by the officials, and that normally means he caught it.
Grammatical correction. Not able to hold it in.
Nice thinking on the move, Al.
A little underthrown. Deion Figures fell, and Beebe was wide open.
That was on the near sideline, folks. If you wondered if we've lost our senses, we could not see that.
Well, we've lost our senses anyway.
Yeah,
Moore hits it off the side of his foot, but it takes a very good Buffalo bounce. Woodson picks it up at the 29 and returns it to the 34. So things very much going Pittsburgh's way with 8:18 to go in the 3rd. 17-0 Steelers.
I will be there for that one.
Yeah. Coliseum in L.A. Regional action for you Saturday on ABC Sports. Pittsburgh from the 34-yard line. It is Thompson taking it out to the 36 for a gain of 2. 2nd and 8. Well, he doesn't know it's AstroTurf, obviously.
Well, these were tough tickets to come by for this game, and that's one way to get in without a ticket.
This is hardly a natural habitat.
No. Worms will be tough to come by digging around on that.
I don't think so.
I know it's been raining, but I don't think that brought many of them to the surface here.
2nd and 8 from the 35. And O'Donnell throws it out of bounds.
Right to Howard Ballard on the bench. Howard showing why he's a tackle. And there's Andre Reed, and he looks like he's on his way in.
O'Donnell, I think, again, just unloading this one before the roof fell in.
Hit by Wright and Patton.
It did work on that left index finger. He has a little bit of a split on it. We'll try to get an update for you as we update the bird.
That bird's down around the 10-yard line. He is a long way away from his prey here.
3rd and 8.
Those of you from the Audubon Society.
Up to the 46-yard line. It is Eric Green making the catch, and Pittsburgh converts again. Another 1st down. Yeah, we hear from everybody, don't we?
Darn right. What a weapon is Eric Green.
And this is the first year he's really utilized all of his skills. He stayed healthy, and he has been such a force. And as we said earlier, Dan and I were looking at him close up, and no pads at all from the. I don't think he even wears hip pads.
I'm not sure he could get him in those pants. That was a fine hit, by the way, by Darryl Talley. You see him put a good pop on Green.
From the 45-yard line, Thompson. Now out to the 48-yard line for a gain of 3. 6:45 to go in the third.
A crowd reaction and Thompson's reaction. He's looking for a face mask call, barking at the officials. You saw his head snap around.
I think he might have a complaint, too, because it did whip around.
Let's check out Big Bruce down here, and as he's been most of the night working against John Jackson, the left tackle. And that's effective work by Jackson, getting inside, good use of the hands, not getting them outside where he might draw the attention of an official and get a holding call.
2nd and 7. Fake draw. For Adrian Cooper, the other tight end. And he's about as much fun to bring down as Green. Kelso finally corrals him inside the 15.
He's about 10 pounds lighter, splits the zone, and O'Donnell right on target.
I think that was
6'5", 270.
I think Mark Kelso and James Williams, 29, each were hoping that the other guy would tackle Cooper. Watch how open Adrian Cooper is. A soft zone here, and he's just all to himself, and now it's Williams from the outside, Kelso from the inside, and I think they're both one waiting for the other, and James Williams wanted no part of Adrian Cooper right there.
1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Thompson. Smith misses him, and then Kelso rides him down at the 11-yard line.
Well, it's only a gain of a couple, but he is a very impressive running back. He gets a couple of yards when he probably should have lost a couple. He has been doing that ever since he came in for Foster. And Ron Earhart mixing up the plays beautifully. It's easy to mix them up when you are dominating that line of scrimmage, isn't it, Dan?
You're absolutely right, Frank. Makes everything fall into place kind of neatly.
2nd and 7, and O'Donnell gets sacked. Bursting through is Marcus Patton to send him back to the 26-yard line.
And Marcus Patton has played an awful good football game tonight. He has been around the ball all evening. And with his team down by a bunch, 17-0. Oh, and Cornelius Bennett is on the verge of getting a trip home. He keeps barking at the officials like that. Bennett is going to be out of here. Contact with the officials in the National Football League is unacceptable. And he was right in the face of umpire Art Demas. No time to pop a cork, Corny.
There is no flag. He got away with that. And it's 3rd down and 17.
When the official has to put out an arm to fend off a player.
O'Donnell, and he has it intercepted at the 3-yard line by Mark Kelso. He tried to hit Green, and that is exactly what Buffalo desperately needed at this point to stay in the game.
Kelso's first interception of the season, and it could not have been more timely to keep him in this game.
And we have got
personal foul
on Buffalo.
Is this a roughing the passer call?
It could be.
If this is roughing the passer, that will negate that interception. And that would be a case of going from bad to worse in a hurry for Buffalo.
If it's on the run back, it's Buffalo's ball.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Yep. By the defense, number 77. 15-yard penalty, half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
That's a killer. Oliver Barnett, you saw him coming in from the right side. The officials ruling that he took that extra step in hitting Neil O'Donnell.
Well, you just wonder if that flag would have flown had there not been that confrontation earlier on the part of Bennett with the official.
Frank, that is a great point. That's a great point.
They were on top of everything. They knew that Bennett had lost it, and they had their eagle eye out.
Interception negated. It's now 1st and 10, just outside the 10. 4:08 to go, 3rd quarter. 17-0 Steelers. Thompson to the 6-yard line.
And another long time-consuming drive. This one starting back at the 33-yard line.
Well, we knew going in tonight that the plan for Pittsburgh was relatively simple. Pound the ball at Buffalo. Repeatedly drive it at them. They thought they had the advantage in the running game. And they knew their defense would play well. But nobody figured at this stage of the ball game there'd be a big 0 on the scoreboard for Buffalo. Offensively, they've done nothing.
2nd and 5 from the 6. Thompson. He takes it to the 2.5. It's going to be 3rd down and about 1.5 yards for a first, with 3:18 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Now, if I'm Ron Earhart right here, play action pass.
Play action rollout.
Yeah.
He scored on it once already tonight.
Yeah. I'd do it again. But then again, I've never coached a day in my life, so what do I know?
Only from up here.
Makes it a lot easier, doesn't it?
And I'm undefeated.
3rd and 2 from the 3. Stone in motion. Thompson. Well, he's to about the 1.5. He's going to be a little short of the first. Bruce Smith is there. It's going to be 4th down and probably less than 1 for a first and about 1.5 yards for the touch.
And I think you go for it.
Well, you're leading 17 to nothing.
Well, a field goal makes it 20 to nothing, and 3 Buffalo touchdowns would give them the lead.
You don't get it, you leave them down inside the 1-yard line.
With the way your defense is playing, I don't think you sacrifice that much by going for it if you don't make it.
They'll measure. They're going to come up short, and it continues. Art Dean is the umpire, and Cornelius Bennett.
They've got a full yard to go.
They'll kick it.
They're going to kick it.
They sent Gary Anderson in.
You have to think if he'd have been maybe inside that yard, a couple feet to go for a first down, he might have thought about it, but nonetheless, an impressive drive by Pittsburgh, but hugely aided by the roughing the passer call on Barnett, which did away with Kelso's interception. Would they dare a fake here, Frank?
Well, Bill Cowher has been noted to try it.
Mark Royals, who is the punter, is also a holder. And a 19-yarder, which is shorter than an extra point, is good. They tack on 3 more. 2:23 to go in the 3rd as Pittsburgh extends its lead to 20 to nothing.
Averaging about 23 yards of return, I'd say.
And if I was that bird, I'd think mightily about getting out of there. There he goes.
He's still there. Anderson kicks off. It's taken at the 4. This is Russell Copeland. And he brings it back out to the 30-yard line. Tackled by Willie Williams. 2:12 to go in the 3rd. Pittsburgh 20. Buffalo nothing. Look at the Steelers. It's hard to believe this is the same team that lost to San Francisco and the Rams in their first 2 games. But right now, as hot as any team in the AFC, and they'll be in first place by themselves if they hold on to a 20-0 lead.
Lost to the Rams 27-0, and as you look at the Bills, it's hard to believe this is the team coming into tonight with the best record in the NFL.
But we have seen their offensive problems all year long, their lack of productivity offensively, and they've really shown themselves tonight to be some, I think, some real weaknesses.
He had 6 games with 1 touchdown or less.
Frank Wright at the 30-yard line as they begin this drive down by 20. And look out, and down he goes. He slips, and an easy sack will be credited to Kevin Green. And you can make it 6.5 now for Kevin Green.
Take a look at their possessions tonight. 5 consecutive punts. Their 6th possession ends at the half, and a punt here in the 3rd quarter so far, and the first play of this drive results in a substantial loss.
2nd and 18. Again, Jim Kelly, a concussion. He's out. Frank Wright seeing his first action of the season. hits Beebe up at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, but he might have been pushing off.
Yeah,
flag driving into DJ Johnson.
You know, we documented the loss of Kelly. Andre Reed left the field injured. And there he is right there. And pretty obvious that he's still in a great deal of discomfort. They took some x-rays. Our producer Kenny Wolf is telling us on his left wrist, and we do not yet have the results.
And with Beebe working against DJ Johnson, there was contact as Beebe battled back to the ball.
Oh, we got a personal foul call here.
Someone gave you a little color commentary there.
Barnyard term. On a field that doesn't need any fertilizer.
That's right.
Holding by the defense. That penalty is declined. There was also a personal foul, late hit by number 95 of the defense. That penalty is enforced from the end of the run, 15 yards, first down.
I think they got Johnson first, and number 95 is Lloyd. That is a little hit.
Yeah.
And also a little bit of spearing involved there.
Yeah. Well, Greg Lloyd is an aggressive player. How do you think Bill Cowher feels about that call against Lloyd? I agree with it. Beebe was thrown on the field, and Lloyd comes in, and absolutely. Yeah.
First and 10 from the 47. Reich hits open Beebe, and what a shot he takes.
He held on to it.
By Gary Jones at the 30-yard line.
Oh, that's as big a hit as a guy can take after catching the ball. That is a courageous performance by Beebe, knowing full well he's going to take a huge hit.
Beebe splitting the zone. Gary, the deep man.
Watch this at regular speed. We don't have to add much to this. Folks, this is a game played by tough people.
And Beebe knows what's about to happen. He actually took that pretty good.
There he is.
He's amazing because, I mean, he took that hit. Remember in the game against the Browns, the playoff game a couple of years back, when they landed on his head.
And that's a good, clean, legitimate shot by Jones. Beebe's in the field of play. He's not spearing. He saw what he hit, and he hit it hard. Don Beebe's headed to the Buffalo sideline, and the Pittsburgh Steelers came into this game tonight to make a statement, and they are dotting the I's and crossing the T's. But yet, it's just 20-0, and a Buffalo score here, and there's some semblance of a chance that they could come back. Still here in the third.
They have no Reed, no Beebe, and now a Thurman Thomas fumble, and the Pittsburgh Steelers recover. Kevin Green.
The pride of Granite City South High School. Look at this. What a difference he has made to the Steelers.
A nice first turnover.
This is as good a defensive performance by a football team as we have seen here on Monday night in a long time.
Thomas never had that ball.
That's just a gift by Buffalo.
A lot of it, of course, might be that he probably has not worked that much with Frank Reich. Well, Kelly taking all the snaps during the week. And you're so comfortable when you work with somebody so consistently, and all of a sudden you change that. Trying to read the defense on the move, just didn't handle the ball.
1:04 remaining in the third quarter. Ed Hockley checking things out with his line judge.
That's Dick
Please
LeBeau.
reset the clock to 1:08.
Let's go back and take a look at this fumble. The handoff from Reich to Thurman Thomas from the other side of the field. The ball was a little high. Hit Thurman up on the numbers, and Whether that's a place that he's unaccustomed to taking that handoff, I'm not sure.
1:08 now left in the third as Thompson gets tripped up by Bruce Smith. Steelers can begin to think about taking time off the clock. The night started ominously enough for the Pittsburgh Steelers when they lost their premier running back, Barry Foster, to a sprained ankle, and there is Barry. X-rays negative, but on crutches, and we'll have to wait and see, I'm sure, as to whether he'll be able to play at Denver on Sunday.
I got a question whether that should be up in the air with a little ice on it.
2nd and 9. Here is Stone on the end around. They love to run so much. But this time Bruce Smith is there to smell it out from behind and stop it for a loss of a couple.
Third reverse tonight that the Steelers have run. And again, it slows down the pursuit considerably. Just the fact they know you have it in your repertoire and you're going to use it.
I wonder if Don Beebe could name the 3 rivers outside this stadium. Could you?
End of the third.
No, nobody hit me.
20-0 Pittsburgh, the 4th quarter of Monday Night Football after this from our ABC station. Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. Goodyear Blimp Spirit providing the Scenics. Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, and Dan Deerdorf. We start the 4th quarter. The Steelers trying to make it 6 of their last 7, leading 20-0. Pittsburgh ball, 3rd and 12 at the 30-yard line. Neil O'Donnell. Good protection. Tries to find the open man and does.
Oh, what footwork.
Yes, they're going to say he got in. Jeff Graham, first down at the 49.
What a job by Graham of getting both feet down in the field of play when he had a ball sailing over his head. Frank, that's sweet.
And the official right on top. If you see the official, both of them have to come down. That's beautiful. That's sensational.
Oh, that's world class.
21-yard gain for Graham, who's caught 3 tonight. First down at the 49-yard line. And Pittsburgh has to take a timeout. 28 seconds into the 4th quarter, 20-0 Steelers.
Lurton.
Next Monday, we go to San Francisco. 49ers and Saints, big one. First place in the NFC West at stake at Candlestick Park. Here, the Steelers trying to move into undisputed possession of first. They lead 20-0, and Leroy Thompson is over 100 yards tonight. Marcus Patton makes the stop. So the 2 times this season that Thompson has come in relief of Barry Foster, he's gained over 100 yards. Numbers through the first 3 quarters of play. All Pittsburgh.
Time of possession. 32-12. Total dominance, and we talked about it early at the line of scrimmage. Steelers pretty much being able to do what they want to do.
173 yards on the ground. Those are lofty numbers in the NFL.
2nd and 5, and here's Thompson. Stop at the line of scrimmage at the 45-yard line.
You know, we talked, I think, Frank, it was you that mentioned it earlier about the fact that the Steelers are such a young team with a dozen rookies on their 53-man roster. A young coach. The best players on this team are still, some of them, looking at the prime of their careers ahead of them. And with the coaching job that Bill Cowher has done, winning 11 games last year and the way they're off again this year, you have to think that this is going to be a good football team for a long time to come.
3rd down and 6. Shoveling catch made by Green, and he's off to the races to the 21-yard line.
Remember he talked earlier about how agile he is, how he turns, how quick he is. I think he's shaken up a little bit, pointed at that left leg. Great concentration on the part of the big man. He wants to have that checked out. O'Donnell, a lot of time to get rid of it. The blitz was on. Look at the ball in the air. Green still is there as Bills just bounce off. Kurt Schultz, no way he could handle him.
And I'll tell you something, guys. When he's running downfield, you see more than just a couple guys that they're not taking numbers to tackle him.
Here's Thompson.
You got a lot of people that are, I think, not all that upset if the other guy is the first one to try to tackle Eric Green.
And the good news, Eric Green coming back in. His one problem has been a lot of nagging injuries. And he really has never put together the kind of year that they felt he could. And this, they hope, will be that year. He's had 20-yard receptions in the last 6 games. We talked about the 71-yard touchdown a week ago. A 50-yarder against Cleveland. He's an awesome weapon.
2nd and 8 at the 20-yard line. Thompson. He's also had to work his way back from drug rehab. And remember, he missed several games because of that last year. And everything seems to be going very well for him in that regard, which brings us to Carlton Hasselrig, their Pro Bowl guard, who underwent rehabilitation for alcohol abuse and has just been reinstated. So he is trying to work his way, and there he is back into the starting lineup.
Yeah, he was just activated for tonight's game, and Bill Cowher says he's got a long way to go, but you hope that he's able to keep his life in order. He'll be a help to this football team, although Justin Strelzik right there, who's filled in for him, has done a credible job at right guard.
That's their second charge, team timeout.
Steelers take another timeout. Goodyear blimp hovering high above downtown Pittsburgh.
Not high enough.
The river. Yeah. And that shot from the hill overlooking the city, provided by our local affiliate, WTAE.
The city went to great lengths tonight to ask the businesses to leave the lights on, and what a pretty picture that makes. Thanks to the folks here in Pittsburgh. Great spot.
3rd and 5 at the 17-yard line as O'Donnell throws, and the catch is made, but not a first down, as Ernie Mills makes the catch, but he's still a yard and a half short of the first.
One of the few mistakes made by the Steelers tonight. Mills cutting that pattern just far too short to pick up the first down, but mistakes for this club have been few and far between. And
great little kicker they trot out for you, too. Kind of lost in the obscurity of all the other more celebrated kickers. Billy Anderson has put together a remarkable career.
He was originally selected by Buffalo, but like so many great kickers, as this one good from 31, he kept bouncing around till he found a home, and he's found some home in Pittsburgh. 23-0 Steelers. Eric Green, boy, it's been green and green tonight. Eric Green on one side of the ball and Kevin Green on the other, and they put Pittsburgh in the pink. 23-0 as Anderson sends the ball down to the goal line, and Russell Copeland is taken down at the 20. Deion Figures and Victor Jones in on the hit. We have 10:23 remaining in the 4th quarter. And the Pittsburgh Steelers lead it 23-0. Donald Evans makes the tackle. The Bills have been relatively injury-free this year, but tonight Kelly a concussion. Reed's been out of the game for most of the second half. Beebe was shaken up earlier. And they'll stagger home and get ready to face Indy next week as Wright gets sacked by Donald Evans.
Evans now with 4.5 sacks on the year. We talked about the injuries to Buffalo, but Pittsburgh also earlier had lost Barry Foster, and now they're taking a long look at Eric Green, the tight end on the sidelines. He's got an ice bag on his cap, and remember, we talked about he doesn't wear a thigh pad. He's got a big ice bag on his left thigh.
Well, Kenny Davidson came across and tapped one of the Bills. He's claiming that he was drawn. John Fina being told that he wasn't invited to this meeting.
False start prior to the snap by the right tackle. 5-yard penalty. It remains third down.
The house shifted on its foundation. A little jumpy tonight. That's Howard Howard.
.9:38 remaining in the fourth quarter. Pittsburgh, with a victory, would go to 6-3. They'd be a game in front in the AFC Central. Third down and 15 from the 15-yard line. Wright buys time, but can't find the open man. And Bill Brooks wants a flag and doesn't find one.
There's first-round draft choice Deon Figures for the first time tonight.
A little scuffle ensues at the 8-yard line.
Figures a good coverage too, Dan. Yeah, that's right on top of Brooks. If the Steelers aren't deep enough in the quality of their secondary, now Deon Figures, a rookie #1 draft choice, is added to the mix.
It was Lloyd and Fina getting into it. Lloyd was pointing up. I'm sure he was telling him, hey, look at the scoreboard, pal. 23-0.
Well, you're looking at two teams that will, barring a total disaster, both will be in the playoffs in the AFC, and they might just meet again.
Chris Moore to kick. Woodson back.
A lot of time, a lot of room,
53-yard punt. 8-yard run back to the 41. ABC's Monday Night Football being brought to you by Cold Filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Get out of the old, get into the cold. Sony, the official video electronics company of the NFL. MCI, the company that brings you Proof Positive. And by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? 9:02 remaining in the fourth quarter. Carwell Gardner was shaken up, and he is assisted to the bench.
Well, Carwell Gardner's loss not insignificant. Their starting fullback, the starting wide receiver, Andre Reed, is out with a bad wrist. Jim Kelly out with a concussion.
And Buffalo ready to stagger home with a mark of 7-2. And while Pittsburgh would go into undisputed possession of first place in the AFC Central, the Bills will now have to share first place in the AFC East with Miami.
And guys, this is reaching the proportions here as we promote next week's game, and this is a classic NFC battle here between the 49ers and the Saints, two NFC West rivals and a couple of playoff teams in the NFC, almost certainly, in our first trip to Candlestick here in '93. But for Buffalo right now, this is beginning to be bigger than just a loss that sends them to 7-2. The loss of personnel figures to be even more important than losing a single ball game.
Earl Hodge picks up a first down. And we mentioned Carlton Hasselrig on his way back from alcohol rehab, and he is in the lineup. Yep, there's Carwell Gardner, the latest on tonight's injury list for Buffalo.
Look at Andre, little Thurman Thomas over there taking a close look at the man that has opened so many holes for him.
That looks like
it goes on the right leg.
It looks like it's on the hamstring underneath.
Steelers give it to Hodge again. And all they're thinking about right now is taking time off the clock. Bill Cowher, the Steeler coach. It's a funny thing. You think back about, the coaches who've replaced legends through the years. Well, this is what this man did. But Chuck Noll, he just sort of not faded away. He just went away, period. Chuck just enjoying life after football. Cowher comes in, tough spot.
Chuck was never a party animal to begin with, Al. You didn't see him in a lot of affairs or banquets, very quiet.
But Cowher came in last year, led them to the best record in the AFC. They would have had home field advantage throughout the playoffs, so they lost to Buffalo here in the divisional semifinals as contact is made there. Seriously involved. This year now, they're on their way to making it 6 of their last 7.
We asked Bill Cowher. Number 72, 5-yard penalty. It remains second down.
Last night, we asked Bill if Chuck ever comes by and watches practice, and he says, well, I bump into him in the offices every now and then, but he doesn't come out on the field and watch practice or anything like that. And you have to admire Chuck Noll for that. He's allowed Bill Cowher not to really have to coach in his shadow. And what a shadow it is, too. 4 Super Bowls for Chuck Noll, one of the great coaches in the history of this game, and wish him well. He's still here in Pittsburgh, and he's doing just fine.
Enshrined in the Hall of Fame this year as Hodge loses a couple.
He also has worked for the NFL, has been doing some ambassadorial work overseas, traveling a great deal.
I imagine Chuck perhaps at home tonight, feet up on the hassock fire in the fireplace, and a good bottle of Beaujolais in hand.
Well, he's a
Around
noted
the Napa
wine,
Valley area?
Yeah, a noted wine connoisseur is Chuck Noll. And what a fine night. I think maybe a nice Burgundy would be more in line tonight than a Beaujolais, Al. Of course, I just have better taste than you, I think.
Ripple on 3rd and 17. Here's Merrill Hodge taking it to the 44-yard line.
When I said Burgundy, Al, I was referring to the province in France, not necessarily the color.
Oh,
But Al, of course, has been around a little longer than you.
That's right. Golden oldie.
Comment allez-vous, c'est joli?
Say what?
Well, we talked about the Steelers and the fact that in the last 5 games with Buffalo, they are winless, and how important tonight was to make a statement about where they're going, the obstacles in their way, and you know that this team is going to leave here tonight feeling a whole lot better about themselves and their ability and where they go here in the rest of the 93 season. We got a flag back at the 46-yard line, and we'll see what shakes out here, but this is not just a win for Pittsburgh. This is a young football team that now thinks so much more of themselves for having beaten the Buffalo Bills.
Number 30, 10-yard penalty, repeat 4th down.
Victor Jones. Victor Jones may have gotten a couple of guys on this hole. This might be a double holding call.
There he is, the up back position there, just in from the right side, about 5 yards off the ball. Guys are in on him clean. And a nice wingspan by Victor.
That's a Pro Bowl effort there.
Hey, you know what? You know what? In that situation, Victor, you did the right thing. You take the hold because one of those guys might have blocked the punt, and the hold is far better than a blocked punt.
Royals' next kick.
And it didn't work out too bad, did it?
Dead at the 13-yard line, and the only mystery right now is can Pittsburgh
Hey, that's a smart play. That's a smart play by Jones.
He wanted to know which arm he was called for.
He wanted to know, that's right, which one of the guys did I hold? Smart play, heads up.
Pro Bowl balloting day today. Started all over. Fans are going to have an opportunity to get involved in it this year.
Bill Cowher. He went to, as we said, North Carolina State. He was recruited for the Wolfpack by Lou Holtz, who was at that time coaching in Raleigh.
Holtz, of course, went on to coach the Jets for a while. What's he doing now?
Yeah, we were trying to figure it out. Here's David. Up to the 16-yard line.
Big win for Notre Dame Saturday as they beat Florida State. Lou Holtz once again proving that if there's a big game to be won, he's the master at getting a team ready to play.
They have to get them ready again.
2nd and 8. And nearly picked off by Darren Perry. Buffalo goes home next week. The Bills will be meeting Indianapolis at Rich Stadium. And then they go to Kansas City. That'll be a big one. Come home to face the Raiders. And they have to play 4 of their last, make it 3 of their last 4 on the road.
Let's look at O'Donnell icing down that right elbow there. We told you about the tendonitis.
Like on 3rd and 8, goes too high, intended for Steve Tasker, with Reed hurt and with Beebe shaken up. They're down to Tasker, their special teams maven, on offense. Barry Foster, well, he can afford to pose for pictures right now, even though he's on crutches and is out of the game because his team is on the verge of a big win.
And the fans that are still here at Three Rivers up on their feet, applauding their defense. And they're about to see Mike Tomczak. And Neil O'Donnell will ice the elbow, take a breather, and Tomczak talks it over with Ron Earhart on the sidelines.
No play. Whistle dead before the snap.
There is no foul on the play. We held up the defense, getting the recording ineligible and eligible numbers. Therefore, we'll reset the play clock to 25. No foul.
Okay.
3:55 left in the game at 23-0. Got to let them line up wherever they want to line up.
And as many as they want.
Yep. Throw the old zipper across the pocket that has the flag in it.
Ward to punt again. 39-yard punt, fair caught by Deion Figures. Well, when you think of the Pittsburgh Steelers and the glory years, one of the guys you think about is Lynn Swan, our ABC Sports colleague, who ran in the New York Marathon yesterday and finished the 26 miles in 4 hours, 26 minutes and change.
Congratulated. That's Greta Weitz.
Yes, it is.
Proud of Lynn. Multi-winner of the women's division of the marathons all around the world. And
I was going to do that, but he was going to take a limo.
I don't think I could do the New York Marathon in that time on a bicycle.
Mike Tomczak comes in as O'Donnell is done for the night, and Merrill Hodge adding to a very impressive stat sheet. The Bills now dropping into a first-place tie with Miami. In effect, Miami would have the advantage because they had beaten Buffalo in their one head-to-head meeting. As you look at the time of possession tonight, and the Steelers...
We need to reflect upon that for a moment.
Well,
41 plus to 15.
Doesn't take a whole lot of reflection.
Oh,
it's called an old-fashioned thumping.
Whoa. Is there any truth to the rumor that Don Shula met with Bob Greasy today to try to talk him out of retirement?
Well, we were about ready to give you an update on that. Glad you asked, as Merrill Hodge picks up about 6. The Dolphins, who lost Scott Mitchell yesterday, he has a separated shoulder. They'll wait to see if it will heal without surgery. In the meantime, Doug Peterson finished up for them yesterday, but Steve DeBerg is going to take most of the snaps in practice this week and figures to start next week for Don Shula. They have Peterson, and also they have signed Hugh Millen today to be their number 3 quarterback next week, the much-traveled Hugh Millen.
Well, the Steelers over the years, the Dolphins, rather, over the years have shown they love old backup quarterbacks. Earl Morrall, Don Strock, and now Steve DeBerg, who is he not the oldest player in the National Football League?
I believe so.
He and Jackie Slater, I know, are the 2 oldest. I think DeBerg is the oldest. And here's a good aerial shot of a scuffle.
Meanwhile, that was Randy Cuthbert, a rookie from Duke, who was the ball carrier on that last play. Can always tell his grandchildren his first NFL carry was covered by the Goodyear blimp.
and they couldn't see his number.
They couldn't see his number.
And it ended in a fight.
7 to the offense, grabbing the face mask. 15-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
I think they got Duval Love there for a hand to the face. Matters not, though. It won't diminish anything that the Steelers have done tonight.
A lot to smile and laugh about tonight on the Steeler bench.
Therefore, the 15 yards will be enforced after the establishment of the first down. First down.
Well, you get to see these Steelers, what, December 13th against Miami.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see what transpires between now and then.
There's Don Beebe there on the left. Good to see him looking good.
2-minute warning back after this from the National Football League. Joe Shavo, our technical director. Our associate director is Ben Harvey. Halftime produced by Dick Buffington and Emily Deutsch. Our production manager, Ed McKenna. Dennis Zabo and Jim Licata handling the tech operations. Fred King and Margaret Schaefer, the assistants to the producer. And Steve Hurd, as always, our illustrious director of information. Statistician George Hill, our stage manager Kirsten Anderson, computer stats Mark Amento and Brian Mobilson, our spotter Malibu Kelly Hayes, and our sideline coordinator Bill Monahan, the new daddy, and we congratulate Mono. Meanwhile, we're still in search of that bird, huh?
I'm checking out these guys down here in the stands with bones sticking through their heads down there. They're taking excessive dress to a new level here in Pittsburgh.
Here's Merrill Hodge. There they are. They were holding up a sign during the commercial.
They can get their own awards. They can't seem to get the signs lined up.
About 6 weeks ago, we gave out a couple Bonehead awards, and they were listening.
Yep. There it was.
Give us the Bonehead Award. You got it.
You asked for it, you got it.
You got it. Nothing bonehead about the way Pittsburgh played tonight, though. That was a gratuitous Bonehead Award.
Ask and ye shall receive. Merrill Hodge as the Steelers run out the clock. In the mid-70s is when the league began keeping time of possession statistics, and the Steelers have never had the ball more in one game than they've had it tonight.
Well, when Bill did exactly what they came in to do, too. This is what they said they would do, and they have put their game plan into action. It's been perfection.
Well, when Bill Cowher, and I hate to spend Dan Rooney's money like this, but when he starts handing out game balls, everybody up front on that Pittsburgh offensive line and their tight ends, Cooper and Green, those guys ought to all get game balls.
So the Pittsburgh defense pitches a shutout. Marv Levy shut out for the first time since 1979. The Bills shut out for the first time since '85. Steelers on top in the AFC Central with a mark of 6-3, and the Bills tied with Miami at 7-2. And we take the show to San Francisco, where the Saints and the 49ers have at it next Monday. Final score here, Pittsburgh 23, Buffalo nothing. Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Deerdorf. Good night from Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh.